So basically, my Schwarzschild's radius is huge. It's fucking huge.
Hello and welcome to Casual Gestation. I'm Phil,
And
here with
Dakota.
my co-host Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty high energy there, man.
Thanks, man. I just listened to your introductory cast. I feel pumped up
Feel
about it.
pumped up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you going, did it?
Yeah.
Good.
Why are we going
so-
to talk about septic tanks?
Well, because, man, I have a septic tank, you have a septic tank.
This is true.
They're good.
You just want to do a
They
general
won't-
discussion on septic tanks?
Well,
Like,
the only problem with them is they stop up easier just because they don't have as much flush power as like a city toilet.
well, true. Yeah, but the placement can help.
Yeah,
And-
ours is downhill, but it's not super downhill. So
Yeah.
that's
Whereas
why ours,
we are like raised above and uphill of
Right.
ours. But also you can get Rid-X packs.
right, and that really helps.
Yeah, that helps a ton. Or if you're not a buyer of such things, you can just go buy yourself some yeast, some active yeast, and pour it down there because that's the main premise on which Rid-X works.
I thought it
works.
was the sawdust broke shit up too.
Huh?
The sawdust helps break shit up too.
Oh yeah, whatever the fuck's in there. with it,
Literal
yeah.
shit.
Like, yeah. But what it does is it activates bacteria so they can eat it down to gases and stuff easier, and then it naturally just escapes.
Okay. You ever had to snake a toilet?
Define.
Like
Elaborate
when
on
you
the
have
question.
to get those.
No, I know what snaking a toilet is. You're asking me if I've physically done it with my hands or if I have been present at one happening.
physically done it.
Or... No.
Okay.
And I do.
So
not
for those of you
desire
that
to.
don't know what snaking a toilet or a septic line is, basically you get a long, flexible metal. I've seen some that are rubber.
Metal ones work better.
Yeah, at least in my experience. But they're long metal, basically just coils
Yeah.
or pieces of rubber in their rubber case. And you shove it down the toilet and it has to follow the pipe. So it's not always just like our toilet goes up first.
Oh, your U-bend is right there. Nice.
Yeah. But it's because it goes back and up a little.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, podcast. You're getting it live and fucking real.
Raw.
Raw
sauce.
But you
Old memes.
you shove it through there and you have to follow the bends of the pipe. And the idea is that it'll just punch through whatever obstruction there is. But if you live in the woods like we do, sometimes that obstruction is roots.
Yeah.
So
You can't punch through it.
yeah,
You got to be real careful when you're.
yeah, because you can punch through that PVC pipe too.
Yeah.
Or not
Especially if it's a
PVC
metal
pipe,
one.
whatever the piping they use is.
This is generally, we'll just call it PVC for fucking ease of use sake, but that's basically what it is. It's
Okay.
just like polyethylene pipe.
Okay, but yeah, you got to be real
I think it's
careful with it
I think
sometimes,
that's right.
especially if you live out in the woods. But if you live out in the woods, you probably have a septic tank and already know all this.
Yeah.
So
Laugh at people who don't, I guess.
yeah,
Haha,
exactly.
I already knew this, but somebody out there's going, oh wow.
Yeah, crazy. So Dakota, what's been up? What's in the news?
What is in the news? I learned that Toys R Us is shutting down.
I think that was a while ago.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I heard it's like really like this is the last death throes or whatever, I guess.
The last.
I didn't know it was shutting down in the first
If
place.
Texarkana still had its, then I would say let's go up there because they probably have everything super fucking cheap. And
Yeah.
They have a lot of board games.
And we like board games.
We do. Speaking of
But
board games, I started playing a game of Risk Legacy the other day.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was. It's going well. We've fought over the Middle East and Russia. Like Middle East and Russia both have scar cards on them,
Shit.
and we're just sitting there fighting over them. And then one of my turns, I turned in. I don't remember how many troops I got, but I got a shit ton of troops that turn. And so I just put all of them on the city right next to Russia and just bum rushed through Europe.
Here's my question, Phil. And it's important.
Okay.
Where do you place your troops in the first go?
Australia. It's the most defensible location.
Yeah. Good. And it counts as a country which ups your unit income per turn.
By 2, which is at the start important.
Yeah. It gives you the ability to juggernaut and snowball out into the Middle East and Russia.
Now let me ask you this: if somebody you're playing with puts a troop on their turn in Australia, what do you do?
Put one in there too.
Okay, you do the same thing I do.
I'm like, you're not fucking getting it. I feel like that's what most. I mean, I'm sure there are experienced.
Yeah,
players
I'll
who's
put
like,
all of my troops in Australia just to prove a fucking point, man.
I know people that are probably like, yeah, no, if I see someone go for Australia, I let them take it, and I take over most of what Australia branches up around, and I just bottleneck them. How long can that last, man? Forever. The last thing you want is two big fucking armies chilling, one in Australia, one at the only exit to Australia.
Yeah.
Which, where is that exactly? China? Do you exit to China?
It exits to somewhere in that area.
Shit sucks.
Shit sucks, man.
Shit sucks, man.
Whack.
But it doesn't work if you're playing with more than two people anyway, because if someone tries to do that, they don't have any countries to their name, and they have the hardest country to take.
I've seen people that always go for North America, though, which I'm like, that's so shitty, because, yeah, it's worth like five troops a turn, but you also have 3 different locations you have to defend through: Asia, Europe, and South America.
You have to keep troops in Alaska and fucking...
It's just an expensive continent to
Canada
run.
And in Mexico.
South America or Africa? Well, Africa's real shitty too because it's got
Africa
like 6 entrances.
Yeah, it has full-on like multi-tile entrances.
Yeah. See, it's been so long since we played Risk, and we didn't want to read the rules all the way through because we were trying to rush through a game, and we couldn't remember if you could attack from 2 territories at once, so we just weren't doing it.
You can't.
Okay, then we were doing it right.
You can do it, and then after that combat's done, do it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, no, we did that.
Yeah. That's how that goes. You can only attack with one continent at a time. But that continent can be as fucking stacked as you want it to be.
Right.
It's a numbers game. I mean, yeah, a lucky rolls can beat a numbers game, but it'll take a long time, and that's a lot of luck to cash out.
Yeah. Yeah, we were doing good, though. We were having a lot of fun with it. It was Alien, Zero's brother.
Nice.
Shout out.
Shout-outs.
Check them out on Steam. They're real cool guys. Alien and Zero X.
You know, Phil, I wish life was more like a video game.
Why is that?
Because, one, objectives would be far clearer from the start. From the start. It'd be real easy, you know, like, once you get old enough to, you know, learn, whenever you're old enough to be considered, you know, game introable.
But at the same time, if it's like a video game, it'd be like The Sims, so if your parents are shit, then you're fucked.
Right, but that's real life anyway.
Right.
It's still... Like,
yeah, but like your parents can just not potty train you in The Sims and nobody will come and take them away as long as they feed you.
Right, well, I'm not saying that it should be Sims, I'm saying like life as it is, but with objectives and like ways to track yourself. Ways to track your standing in a more visible, representable, like tangible
I will
sense.
say in The Sims it's easier to become like a professional writer or just inventor or tinkerer.
I mean, I'll say yes, it's easier because the system to work through is way easier, but it's essentially the same as on Earth. Just keep fucking writing.
You're guaranteed to get good.
Right.
Like on Earth, you're like, I could just suck at this forever.
I mean, I guess.
I wish life was like Kerbal.
Huh.
I would let like, hey, he's an engineering doctorate. He has like 3 other PhDs. He has got to build a space shuttle with the team. And we're going to put you in it, and we're going to just teach you how to do everything. And from there, you know, it might go really well, it might not. And, you know, if the parachute's not set right, then, yeah, you're going to fucking die somewhere. Probably on the ground in a horrific explosion.
You know, they had actual, like, aeronautics engineers. And I guess if there's a special word for that, to expand it to space, like, I don't know, like astronomics? I don't know. Astronautics? I don't know. Come in and try and build a spaceship to go land on the moon and Kerbal Space Program. I couldn't do it. Like, it didn't work. Which I think is fucking hilarious, because basically there's these kids out there that get wicked good at this fucking game, and they can literally do something that NASA scientists have trouble with. Playing Kerbal Space Program.
Man, can we talk about our sponsorship for a minute, Dakota?
What sponsorship?
Exactly. The one we could have from NOS.
Oh, that'd be great.
You want to tell them about your favorite NOS drink, Dakota?
My favorite NOS drink is the Nitro Mango. It is the pale orange can.
And it is so good.
Holy shit.
The only thing I think might be better is a peach one.
I would try it.
I would definitely try it. Peach is my favorite fruit, though.
Yeah. I think NOS cans would look alright as a pale pink can also. Maybe that's happened in the past. I don't think so. But
I don't know.
I think it would work. I think
But
they could pull it off pretty well.
I think that you said it's what?
What?
What is it?
Oh, Nitro Mango.
Just say it one more time.
Nitro Mango.
Nitro Mango.
Come on, Nas, give us something. We're big fans.
So good. Yeah, we're huge fans. By the way, this is a two-parter episode. I know we haven't really talked about anything, but we're going to do 2 parts, right?
Yeah.
Or are we only doing 1 tonight?
No, we're doing at least 2.
Okay.
We haven't covered like half the crap we said we were gonna.
Let's talk about kink shaming. I'm in favor.
You're in. All right. Defend your position.
Okay. I think that you should kink shame people because it's funny. And I think if you're somebody that's turned on by something, you shouldn't be offended that you're turned on by it. Because being upset that you got kink shamed is like, this is wrong, but I still like it. Nah, man, embrace it. Like, unless you're like, I'm a pedophile, embrace it. Or unless you're doing something that's like rapey or something that could hurt somebody else, embrace it. Unless it's like consensual hurting somebody else.
Consider this. The majority of people who have kinks that would generally be shamed by the public at large also are the type of people who generally have anxiety or depression. Thereby, kink shaming those kinds of people is an actual active psychological threat to them. So, it could be considered hate speech with those statistics in mind.
Hate speech is free speech.
Hate speech is free speech.
Words can't hurt you. Grow up.
I didn't want to defend this side anyway, but like...
Words can't hurt you. Grow up.
I think
that's casual gestation stance on it. I can speak firmly on that.
True that. I will say, though, like, kink shaming is kind of dumb.
I think it's kind of dumb, but at the same time, I like to bother people, so I'll kink shame somebody if it's going to give me a good time. Here's
my deal. I feel the same as you. I feel like if you have a kink, you probably shouldn't be ashamed.
That's kind of my kink, is fucking with people. Like, I just like to bother people.
Shame on you. So.
Okay.
Shame.
Doesn't bother me.
But I feel like kink shaming is just kind of stupid because, I mean, like you said, most people should just not be offended if it's a kink. I feel like a lot of kinksters would agree with that. Like, no, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, if someone brought it up in public, I'd just be like, yeah. You know. Now, obviously, there are some who wouldn't. Maybe those into, like, scat or getting peed on or, you know, whatever. Might not be so keen to have someone say,
I'm not
so-and-so likes this in the bedroom out
I'm not saying be like, hey, boss, I like to get shit on. Literally, not metaphorically like you do, but literally.
Metaphorically like I do? What do you mean? Oh, that's right. You don't go to the bar with us after work. I'm still drunk, McTitties. I don't know what to tell you. Calm yourself.
Yo, yeah, spider. Giant spider.
Spoodlers.
It's a garden spider, though, so we hadn't killed it because it eats other spiders.
It's a big guy, though. Oh, you fucked his web right on up.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, man.
I watched a spider go after a June bug for like 30 minutes last night.
Oh, wow.
Not like I watched it continuously, like I was having a cigarette outside and chilling. Kind of just unwinding before bed. Because it was right before bed. And every now and again I'd look up and they'd still be going at it. I don't know how it concluded. I'm actually going to check after this now that I've remembered that I need to see the conclusion of this. I want to know who won, because that June bug was fucking putting up a hell of a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
alright, so, hey, Dakota.
Yeah.
We can continue this in a minute, but what are we covered by?
Oh, well, that would be the BIPCOD no-go license.
Oh, shit, what is that?
Oh, what it basically means is that anybody but the government and government entities and government associates can use our content.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty great. We'd like to be contacted, obviously, if you're going to profit off of our shit. But, you know, BIPCOD no-gov license. Also, if you're an artist, you should totally hit us up. We're super interested in that.
Well, that's pretty nifty.
Absolutely. We're kind of nifty.
We are kind of nifty sometimes.
And real casual.
You know what's not nifty is a fly just fucking bit me.
That sucks.
Yeah. Alright. Stay good, guys. And just, I want to be clear again, because I can't say this enough. We don't love you, but we appreciate you supporting us.
Words don't hurt. It's free real estate.